Hello there, my name is PolishLynx, welcome to Cupid, and we can continue with story. Well, Rosa's story actually. Let's find out what will happen around her and, well, hopefully, her mother will soon disappear from her consciousness because it's terrible. Well, yeah, really, that mother is terrible, trust me. Rosa's confused feelings began to arrange themselves neatly in her mind. Guilleme and Catherine's happiness was important to her. That was the main thing. She knew they felt the same way for her. Her insecurities were real, but they were insignificant. If anything, they were bittersweet. She had no regrets. For the first time in her life, she wanted to talk back to Mother. Yes! She bit her lip, quieting the nerves as she opened her mouth to speak. I know that. What? I know they might abandon me one day for whatever reason. It might be today or next year, or even sooner, but it doesn't matter in the long run. I am happy with them. We've had years together that I will treasure. Like I treasure memories of you too, Mother. My memories of you keep me sustained. That is why I love you. The years we spent together, no matter how fleeting, are still worth something. So let me care for them right now. Everything changes, but nothing is lost. Rosa was sure she had read it somewhere. She had read it. Rosa waited for Mother to answer with a vicious voice, to burst out screaming at her cheekiness. But no voice came. Rosa smiled to herself. The lights dimmed. A low hush descended on the pews. Soon Catherine entered, clad in the loveliest gown and an even lovelier smile. She was beautiful. She belonged on the stage. The lights shone on her, but they paled in comparison to her radiance. Catherine bowed to the audience and took a seat in front of the piano. She began to play. Rosa gripped to the handle of the seat. She felt surges of motion with every note. A kind of energy passed through her, touching her skin and making her break into goosebumps. Oh, Catherine. Rosa hadn't known of such an effect before the moment. Music that could so strike the heart as if it was fiddling with the soul. It was different from practice, different from when she was performing in front of smaller groups. This was a stage, and here was a woman with strings. She was tugging the right keys, touching your heart and electrifying your soul. Rosa realized she wasn't alone in this feeling. The whole room was mesmerized. She looked at the lady beside her seat. She had her hand to her open mouth. A teardrop dangled precariously on her eye. The man to her left seemed to have forgotten to blink. Rosa beamed and suffered a rush of kinship with them. They were experiencing the same emotions with her. It made her love them just a little bit. Rosa closed her eyes and savored the night. A bed of sweat fell from Catherine's chin. She was out of her body now. Her stress from the beginning of the show had thawed and turned into passion. It ran down her fingers to the keys. It did not escape Catherine's notice that most people in the crowd came to the show to gawk at her. Catherine Perride, the one that the infamous Marquis de Gaulle had been courting for years. Didn't he pay for this event? Lucky broad. Catherine Perride, I heard she was some pianist. Any good? Who knows, must be. If even that Marquis is chasing her. Catherine Perride, some female pianist. Pretty face, nice flash on her. Let us watch her show. Her fingers caressed the keys, playing them with the force of her heart. Did she play to prove them wrong? Her music saturated the theater with her fervor. No, not to prove them wrong. To set it right. Catherine Perride is my name. I am more than just a pretty face. And I'm playing this piece for you. It is my gift. Let me touch your soul. Rosa felt her eye get moist. This was Catherine's heart transcribed into music, all energy and beauty with the strength of the wind. The mischief of a sudden gale that whips at ladies' skirts and tips gentlemen's hats. The cold breeze that carried the loneliness of the coming winter. Everyone in the audience felt it. Rosa searched for Julien's face in the darkness. She couldn't see him clearly, but it didn't matter. She knew what he was feeling. She felt it too. Rosa's heart began to ache. It was a sting she didn't know how to name. After the show, Rosa greeted Catherine in her backstage dressing room. She was smothered in flowers from the audience. Sweat glistened on her forehead. Catherine gave her a tight hug. "Congratulations, Cat. You were marvelous on stage." "Thank you, Rosie." Catherine covered her cheeks with her hands. "I'm still shaking. The excitement from the stage hasn't left. Look at my hands." "Oh dear. So I would call the show a success, yeah?" "Pour the champagne, Sherry. It is a night to remember." Catherine and Rosa hugged again. "Let me just finish up here, Rosa. Then we'll celebrate properly. Two young, ravishing ladies sampling the best of what Paris has to offer. I like it." Rosa laughed. "Just don't let go of my hand. You might get lost being so starry-eyed." She was teasing, but smiling brightly all the same. "I would never. Anyway, shall I meet you outside in a few minutes?" "Very well, I'll see you later." Rosa was thankful to leave the backstage area. She had almost forgotten her anxiety during the show, but the backstage was an ill reminder of the crowd. She looked forward to the night ahead, wondering vaguely why she hadn't mentioned Julien's presence to Cav. She shrugged it off. It had simply slipped her mind, that was all. Catherine went back to her dressing room, humming as she was about to grab her coat. She wasn't the least bit tired. Visions of city, exploring new sights and gaining experiences made her giddy with excitement. It will end the night of the best note, she was sure. A small knock interrupted her thoughts. "Who's there?" Catherine turned around, and a cheerful smile froze on her face. The Marquis peeked from the open door and stepped inside. "Hello, Cat." A tingling passed through Catherine's neck. Although she was aware he had returned, this was the first time she'd seen him in 2 years. After she rebuked his intentions of wooing her, Catherine shook her head at the memory. They grew up together. It was normal to develop feelings for someone you shared most of your life with, was it not? Yet Catherine had promised herself not to dabble with the Marquis. With all the rumors and the past flings, it felt like she knew too much. Too complicated, she had reasoned. The rumors were still alive in some circles. But hadn't Guilleme come clean with his romantic escapades? Hadn't he vowed to be faithful since he had made his intentions clear? Vowed. Who'd believe? Perhaps it was possible that. Catherine pushed away the insinuation of that last thought and rearranged her face into a merry smile. She curtsied. "My lord Marquis, thank you for coming." The last bit came out too loud in her ears. It felt like her voice was compensating. She suppressed a groan. "I hope you found the show satisfactory." "My lord Marquis, what happened to Gilly Monster?" At once the memories flooded her mind. That used to be her greeting every time she had visited him back then. She would scream that when she saw him, right before she flung her arms around his neck. Catherine didn't know what to do. Suddenly her hands, the hands that had never betrayed her, felt like they belonged to someone else. She cleared her throat and felt the smile harden on her face. "Pardon must pass slide, sir. I was a bit of a precocious child. After all, I must give my due respects to the sponsor of this event. Thank you, by the way. It didn't have to be in so extravagant." "Wasn't it your dream to play in Paris, Cat? I thought your debut would be the perfect opportunity to fulfill that dream." The Marquis stepped into her quarters and closed the door. Catherine flinched, afraid that the small room would draw them even closer. "Just the effect that he wanted, probably. The sly fox." She floundered for a bit, and contented herself in fusing with the flowers on the table. She should chase him out. Why wasn't she chasing him out? Mert, Catherine? I didn't think you'd be attending tonight, sir. Weren't you traveling? Yes, I was. But I would miss your concert for the whole of France. Guilleme stepped forward. And it seems my investments were well placed. Guilleme drew closer to Catherine, so near that she could smell the mint in his breath. He appeared to reach out to her face, but changed direction at the last minute. Oh, these flowers are from the Duke. How pretty. He examined the card dangling a hair away from Catherine's ear, trying to look fascinated by the piece of decorative paper. Then he stepped back, grinning like an idiot. He really has a great taste. Wherever did you learn that, mookhead? If he thought that kind of ploy would make her swoon, then he was dead wrong. In fact, all it made her want to do was wipe the stooping grin off his face, with the backside of the vase. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? She gritted her teeth, unable to take the acidic edge of her voice. It wouldn't be so hard. All she had to do was grab the neck of the expensive vase and fling it at his head. She wasn't sure if the vase would break. Maybe not. Maybe she would need to hit him again for the full effect. Catherine, did you hear what I just said? Huh? I said now that I'm back in town, would you consider playing for me again? It was part of our original arrangement, after all. She felt the tendons in her neck tighten. I have a full schedule this week, sir, but I will let you know when I'm free. Oh. Sir, I must retire for the night. I'm exhausted from my performance after all. Excuse me. Catherine turned around and went for her coat, but she felt Guilleme grab her hand. Wait, They stared at each other for a couple of seconds. Guilleme looked like he was about to say something. His mouth opened and closed as if debating the correct words in his head. But he just dropped Catherine's hand a moment later. I'm sorry. You're right. You must be tired. His shoulders dropped. Catherine felt a tinge of disappointment, but she ignored it quickly. Guilleme let out a sigh. You know, I'm not good at this, Catherine. Huh? What do I know? You seem to do just fine. You have an amazing track record. Huh? Catherine folded her arms over her chest with a pout. That is just because of my face. What? Most people think I am very deep and thoughtful when I stare at them like this. I just run with it. Catherine bit her lip to prevent the chuckle from escaping, but the laughter burst out from her. He hadn't changed at all. Before she could stop herself, a mischievous smile appeared on her lips. No, actually, is it your inability to make big gestures, Gilly? Huh? Well, look at you. She copied his tight, alert posture. You stand stiff as board. I guess it fools people into believing you are a graceful, dashing soul. Guilleme made a bow. I'm dashing, though. Maybe. Au contraire, monsieur. I did have the misfortune of being victim to your dancing. Must you always bring that up? It was a long time ago. He looked so distressed that Catherine couldn't help but tease him further. I murdered the death of my little too, sir. I like that too. It was a traumatic experience. And what do we have here? No, that's not important. Before long they were laughing, like it was the most natural thing in the world. Though when did it change? Hadn't it always been like this? Catherine settled back into her own skin, muting the confusion in her veins. Kath. She looked up at him. Her own emotions stung her. You can't keep running away from me. She sighed deeply. Her hands tightened around her resolve, for lack of a solid thing to hold on to. Perhaps not, but I have already given you an answer. I am aware. I have tried to accept it. Please don't take offense, but I thought it would be easy. I left to clear my head, to fill my mind with other things. Traveling usually does the trick. For a while, at least, I thought I was successful. But even during my trip, I would catch myself thinking such absurd things like, I wonder what Kath will say when she sees that. No, I don't think Catherine will like this too much. Well, Kat used to say. It was funny, but also a little infuriating to know that you had never left my mind. So I wish I knew how to do this. He sighed. I am too used to people leaving me that I do not know how to quit on my own. It must bother you, the amount of lovers I had in the past. I'm sorry for that. I almost wish I really was that adept. But, like I have told you, most were simple rumors. The rest were people realizing I am not as interesting as they had initially thought. Guilleme. They never stay long, Kath. One could say I am amazing with first impressions. There is a nagging feeling that that's all I'm ever good for. A sort of exotic trophy people like to collect for its sake, and then put aside when its novelty expires. I can't blame them. By now I am quite sure that I'm what is wrong. I must be better at letting people go. But you? Please don't make me let go. You see through me, Kath. In your eyes, I feel like I am somebody worth loving. Is it any wonder I'd like to continue thinking of you fondly? Old habits die hard, I suppose. Catherine bit her lip. Those are impressive words, sir. But do you have a point? My point? It's simple, really. I don't think I'll be able to stop my feelings for you. You may reject me as many times as you wish. It will not change. I have already come to the conclusion that I don't mind. So, after all that time, he is all Lincoln. Now we know that. He shrugged. So I propose that you either get used to me chasing you, or you give in to my too mashing charms. Catherine chuckled despite herself. Or I could just kill you with a Duke's fashionable ways. Please do not give my superior the pleasure. I would rather you rip my heart out of my chest and offer it as a dark sacrifice to the gods to the gods. Gory. Very poetic, dashing points for you. You think so? I've been reading a lot of romance novels lately. What kind of romance novels are you even talking about? I figured I must learn to be more suave to make the lady of my dreams soon. Is it working? Catherine laughed. Hardly. I believe this convoy do it in the big final. Guilleme cleared his throat and knelt down on one knee. He took Catherine's hand, awkwardly trying to act as natural as he could. His serious face made Catherine burst out laughing. Well, Folie, what in the world are you doing, idiot? Stop laughing, madame. I must try this at least once. I'm seeming concerned for an older gentleman and his knee. Will you be able to stand down from that position later, given your obvious grace? Guilleme chuckled. Terrible. Dare you call me an old man? I don't look my age, you know. Sure. Oh, stop laughing, will you? I'm trying to concentrate. He cleared his throat again. Will Mademoiselle Catherine Perrette allow me an audience tonight? As such, perhaps she might allow me to stay by her side for a while longer. It would make me a very happy man. It was sappy and ridiculous, and yet hearing the words did stir Catherine's heart. They were giggling like fools now, like children, her heart heavy with love for him. Love? Did she just think love? Of course she did. She had always loved him. Why was she finding her feelings again? The reasons seemed unclear all of a sudden. Alright, sir. You gallantly convinced this lady to accept your offer for tonight. She bowed with an exaggerated courtesy. Guilleme took her hand theatrically as he stood up. This gentleman is relieved that he didn't have to sing. A few rules for tonight. As we are in Paris, you must be on your best behavior. No embarrassing jokes like making friends with the street mimes. Agreed. As such, I must retire by 8. 10. 8. 9:30. 9. Take it or leave it. Guilleme growled, but Catherine just chuckled at his frustration. 9. 9:15 it is. Fine, 9:15. Sir, I meant 9 sharp. Guilleme's face brightened like a little boy's. Oh, I know where we can go. There is a quaint little piazza just south of here, and I know I must end the episode here, or, well, the rendering might be a problem, so hope you enjoyed this one, and see you tomorrow. Bye.